you need and you must have these two important documents. Guys, I'm not saying you don't need to have other documents, but this two is a must. You need to have it. If you don't have it, you need to start applying for them, because at one point or the other, you will definitely need to submit this document. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your beautiful baby girl Khemzy. If you're seeing this face for the very first time, you're welcome. In this channel, I talk about relocation tips, life abroad, and faith. And if you're a returning subscriber, you guys are the best. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for all the likes, the comments, the shares, and also watching my videos. I am grateful for your love and your support. So guys, today's video is an eye-opener, and I'm giving you a heads up if you want to migrate to Canada. So if you plan to migrate to Canada, most especially, if you want to go to Canada via the express entry route, or you want to go via a work visa, probably you want to go through the home support pilot worker program, home child caregiver pilot worker program, or you want to even migrate via the provincial nominee program. It could also be the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. Guys, the list goes on and on and on. Most of this common immigration pathway for Canada, you need and you must have these two important documents. Guys, I'm not saying you don't need to have other documents, but this two is a must. You need to have it. If you don't have it, you need to start applying for them, because at one point or the other, you will definitely need to submit this document. A disclaimer guys, I am not an immigration consultant. Like I said earlier, every information I share on this channel is solely based on my research, my experience, and the experience of others. So every information I share does not replace a professional advice or an advice from an immigration consultant. So please, I want you guys to bear that in mind, okay? You can also confirm this information I'm going to share with you on the Canada website, because if you want to apply for some programs, those documents are usually part of the requirement, especially if you're applying from overseas. Okay, are you ready for this, guys? I know you are. But before we continue, I want to beg you guys to please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video so that YouTube can recommend it to more people. Share it to everyone around you, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that when I drop value-based video, you will be the first to be notified. So let's get straight into the video. So the first document is what we call an educational credential assessment. What do I mean? Most people that apply to migrate to Canada are usually from overseas, okay? And most of you had your degree or your education outside of Canada. So whether be it a secondary school degree, a bachelor's degree, master's degree, even up to a PhD degree, most of you earned this degree outside of Canada. It means you didn't study in any college or university in Canada. So if you must migrate to Canada, the government of Canada need to be sure that your degree is equivalent to a Canadian degree. In other words, they need to be sure that the degree that you've earned can be equal or is equivalent to a Canada degree. It could be equal to a Canada high school degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, even a PhD degree, depending on your level of education. Most of the time, guys, don't be deceived. You definitely need to get your degree assessed by a Canadian body. You can't escape this for most of the immigration pathway. Yes. So it's not about just applying for jobs. By the time you apply for this job and you get them, and it's time for you to apply for your visa, you need this document. Without this document, you can't apply for the visa. So for this educational credential assessment, popularly known as ECA, there are different bodies that has been approved by IRCC, which is Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, to evaluate overseas credential. I'm going to be listing the names of the bodies approved by IRCC, okay? The first one is WES, which is World Education Service. This is like the most popular word. We also have Comparative Education Service, which is University of Toronto School of Continuing Studies. The third one, we have International Credential Assessment Service of Canada. The fourth one is International Qualifications Assessment Service. We also have International Credential Evaluation Service. The sixth one is actually for doctors, medical doctors, and it's the Medical Council of Canada. Like I said, it's the professional body for doctors. While the seventh one is the Pharmacy Examining Body of Canada, and this is the professional body for pharmacists. Guys, I want to reiterate once again that an ECA is necessary for some federal and provincial skilled worker immigration programs. For instance, ECA may be necessary for provincial nominee program streams that recruit skilled immigrants from abroad. Each federal pathway has its own set of ECA guidelines, and in order to decide whether you require an ECA, it is crucial that you carefully understand the requirements of the federal or provincial program to which you desire to apply. I also want to state that applying for this ECA will also award you points if you're planning to migrate to Canada by the express entry or the provincial nominee program. Okay, so most of you have 2 or more degree. I'm going to delve deeply into how you can apply for this, but I just want you to note that if you have 2 or more degree, for example, some of you have HND degree and you've gone ahead to have a BSc, you can evaluate 1 or more degree and you're going to get more points. For example, if I have just BSc degree, I'm going to evaluate my BSc degree and I will get my points. If you have someone else that has both an HND degree and BSc degree, you can evaluate the 2 and you will be scored as having 2 or more degree. You will get additional points. That's what I'm trying to say. But in order to be eligible to evaluate 2 degrees, you must ensure that at least one of them you studied it for about 3 years or more. Another example is that you might have someone that has a BSc degree that probably you studied for 4 years and you have an OND. Now for your BSc degree, it's for 4 years. You evaluate it, it has checked that box of studying for 3 years or more, and you have your OND which you studied for 2 years. You can evaluate those 2 degrees and you're going to get more points. The purpose of evaluating your degree is, number 1, because it is necessary for most immigration programs in Canada. Number 2, you'll be able to get points, and when you get points, you'll be qualified for some immigration program in Canada. Kindly note, guys, if you're a professional, I will advise you to use your professional body to evaluate your degree. For example, if you're a pharmacist, I don't expect you to evaluate your degree with West. No. As pharmacists, you have your evaluating body, which is PEBC. They are the one that has been designated to evaluate pharmacist degree. If this body evaluates your degree, it will give you the opportunity to practice your profession in Canada. I know you need to write some couple of exams before you can be qualified, but at least it will show that comparability that your pharmacy degree is equivalent to a Canadian pharmacy degree. I hope you understand. Same goes with medical doctors, lawyers, and the rest of them. So if you're a professional, it is important that the appropriate body evaluate your degree, because it will also give you a chance to practice your profession in Canada. So in another video, I'll be giving you a detailed process on how you can apply to the World Education Service, which is WES, in order to evaluate your degree. So guys, the next important document you need to have if you want to migrate to Canada is your language test. And there are 2 types. We have English and French. For the English proficiency, you can either write IELTS or CELPIP. If you're going to Canada as a permanent resident, either through the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Provincial Nomination Program, or even if you want to go on a work visa, I want to beg you to write the IELTS general test, because there are 2 types. You have the general version and the academic version, and you know by now that the higher score you have, the more your chances of being selected in the pool. That is for those that want to go via express entry. The second English test you can also write is CELPIP, and if you're going to write the CELPIP, it has to be the general version. So you have CELPIP LS and you have CELPIP General. Please take the general version of the CELPIP, and it's the same concept as IELTS. You've got the listening, the speaking, the writing, and the reading sections. Okay, now for the French proficiency, either you write the TEF Canada or the TCF Canada, and you know by now that French is a gold mine. If you can speak and understand that language, you are like 50% in Canada, because they are bringing up a lot of pathway to encourage French speaking candidates. Okay, so I want to encourage you, if you can learn the language, it will increase your chance of landing yourself in Canada. Like I said earlier, there are other documents you need when applying for a Canadian visa, but this is solely dependent on the kind of pathway you wish to immigrate to Canada with. But these two important documents I mentioned, which is your educational credential assessment and your language proficiency, this is quite common across board. So I want to beg you guys, start planning on getting these documents. I'm going to be doing a detailed video on how you can apply to WES, World Education Service, in my next video, so please watch out for that video. For your IELTS, it's very easy depending on the country you are watching me from. Just type IELTS on Google and it's going to show you centers in your country where you can register and apply. And take notes guys, it has to be the general version if your intention is for immigration purpose. For those in Nigeria, where I'm from, you can either apply via British Council or IDP. I also want you to note guys that this documentation has expiry date. Yes, the validity for your education credential assessments is 5 years. So if you evaluate with WES, let's say this year 2023, it will expire in 2028. So within that 5 years, it's expected that you get to Canada, you find your way to Canada so that you can make use of that ECA report. Okay, why for IELTS the validity period is 2 years. So if you write your English exam after 2 years, is going to be what? Invalid. Then if you don't get to Canada within that period, you need to probably write another English exam. Okay, so take note of this guys, plan ahead, be strategic in whatever you're doing, and I wish you the very best. I hope you've learned one or two things from this video, and I want to beg you once again to support your baby girl by subscribing to this channel, like this video, share to everyone around you, and turn on your notification bell. Okay, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye.